is your opinion on what makes an intimate relationship and a life partnership successful, fulfilling, and beautiful? Let's get into this topic. This one is major. Hi, this is Liana, Holistic Intimacy Coach. Welcome back to my channel. Here, I help you get your orgasmic intimacy. Before I get into this video, I want to mention two resources that I have that can be very useful to you. One is Get Your Orgasmic Intimacy ebook. This one is the most accessible, financially speaking, tool to work with me. Coaching explanations, micro experiments, meaning the equivalent of homework, and coaching client anecdotes. Real stories from people that have worked with me. And the second tool is the individual coaching. That one is something that I offer just for a maximum of 5 people per month. I cannot really work with more. This one is a more intense and in-depth and personalized kind of work for you. So you want to consider this one. There's a link under the video. And also there's a video with a coaching client that I've been working with for a very long time. She was consistent and saw success. And this video will show you what you can get out of individual coaching. So let's look at what do successful, impactful, fulfilling, intimate relationships look like. I'm going to give you 3 keys from me. And the invitation here is to filter everything through your own perspective, because nobody can tell you for yourself how your intimate relationship is going to be fulfilling or beautiful. But there are some ideas or perspectives here to consider. So number 1, reciprocating love. And why do I mention this one first and foremost? Because I've seen a lot of women, especially somewhere around 40, 50, who are more prone to marry somebody who seems to be like a good match as opposed to somebody for whom they have emotions for. They're willing to go over emotions. They think that that's not sustainable. I believe that in a long-term partnership, aside from respecting the other human being and having respect for yourself, there's an extra ingredient that will make your relationship beautiful. And I do believe it is worth waiting for the right person with whom you actually feel that emotion. And they feel that for you too. Maybe you have a different opinion here. I'm not saying this to be politically correct. I'm saying this because reality can sometimes be very grim. And if you don't really love, or at least a little bit, maybe not the hot, impassioned love that you get when you're 20 or when you're 15, but if you don't love the person next to you, I believe navigating life's challenges, sickness, death, financial crisis, war, pandemics, other natural calamities, is so much more challenging. Love gives you hope and gives you more energy sometimes. Is love and reciprocating love enough? Definitely not, but it's vital for it to be there. The second one that I have is vision. When I'm talking about vision, is the vision that you have with the other person in mind. So how do you see your relationship, and also how do you see yourself in that relationship? How much time do you have for yourself outside of that relationship, and so on? Why are you entering this partnership? Where do you think it goes towards? Having children, having a successful social life, building a successful financial or work or project, something very pragmatic, grounded, materialistically speaking. Securing your family wealth. Okay, that's, some people actually marry for that. And hey, so long as you have that vision, it's totally fine. Just make sure that you're on the same page with the other person. So what is your vision around intimacy? Okay, how much time do you not only want to give, but are also inclined to give to this part? How important are finances for you? If you have children, what is your view on educating your children? Some people want to bring in here also nutrition. Maybe some people are vegan and they won't allow or tolerate meat to be cooked in their house. Maybe some people are want to bring in religion also. Maybe they're extremely religious and they wouldn't accept somebody who's agnostic or atheist. I don't have the answers here, and I don't think it would be correct for me to say you should do this or the other one. There are some aspects here that are extremely important. If you don't bring them up consciously, and I know people somehow dread these kinds of discussions, you might actually find yourself butting heads with those topics eventually. So, and when that happens in a relationship, so people butt heads with something, that is the first signal that maybe they were not aware that that topic was important. And it's not to blame, it's not to judge. If you can keep a cool head in those moments and actually say, oh, we actually never looked at this. Wow. What do we do now when we partnered? As opposed to, what if we butt heads with that? What would we do then? The third thing is the mundane part of things. Okay? Usually the stuff that is home-based, because you're going to spend a lot of time with that person, and you don't want to have incompatibilities in your home. Are you a tidy person? Are you so-and-so? Are you really relaxed? You don't mind. Maybe you've left for 2 days or 3 days the sink full of dishes unwashed, and that doesn't bother you. But is your partner on the same page or not? Are you spontaneous, or are you the kind that plans a lot ahead? Or maybe you're so-and-so. How much spontaneity can you tolerate? How much structure can you tolerate? These are extremely important things to look at. Are you more home-based, or are you more socialite and outgoing? Are you into, well, this one is pretty obvious, but I'm going to say it nonetheless. Are you the traveling kind? You know, you got to travel to 3, 4, 5 locations different on the planet? Or are you the kind that travels once every 5 years? Are you the kind that hikes up a mountain or just outdoor in nature? Or are you the kind that hits the clubs and pubs and bars? Very, very important pragmatic things. That's why I said in the beginning, is love enough? No. It is vital, but the pragmatic stuff also need to be looked at somehow. Yeah, nutrition can also be included here. Are you the kind that really sticks to a regimen? Like maybe you do fasting, or you do time-restricted eating. Maybe you are also into working out and having a structure around your day also with that. Maybe you're the kind that is more flexible. Maybe you don't really do intermittent fasting. You're not so strict with eating or dieting. And you definitely can skip one entire week without working out, and it's not a problem. Those are also things to look at. Here, let's say it's not important that both people are on the same exact page, but they ought to be compatible, or their level of tolerance to these. Food is extremely important for people. Food and eating, like the fuel, okay? How you breathe, where you live, what you eat, those are some of the things that you need to be on the same page somehow. Not identical, but on the same page. Otherwise, stuff is just going to get extremely complicated. The stuff that you do daily, if you're not compatible there, brother, no matter how much love you have, either you're on a super, super advanced spiritual path where you can withstand that kind of incompatibility, because it is possible, but it takes a lot of spiritual growth there. Also with intimacy. What's your approach to that? Okay, the glue, it's not the only one, okay? The first one is love. Okay, I didn't say sex. I said love. I hope that you remember that. And then I said vision, okay? What are the big things in life? But the third thing here, pragmatically speaking, okay, how much interaction and how much variety and what kind of expressions am I looking for? And is this person on the same page with me? Otherwise, am I going to get frustrated with something that is one of the ingredients that separates life partners from just friends or parents? Are you the kind that talks? Okay, communication. This one should probably be also in vision. Okay, is this a relationship where you want to talk about things? Not necessarily fight. Like, I'm not saying talking as in fighting. I'm saying talking as in bringing stuff up and finding ways to actually, well, solve them through conversations. Some people don't want to talk. Some people, they just want to be extremely indirect, go like this. And it's, they love just not talking, but having things, done, I don't know, indirectly. Whereas some people will not be able to, it's like, man, just say it out or be more direct, please. Okay, your personal style is also going to be important. And pragmatically speaking, yes, you may have love and you may have vision, but if some of these mundane things, the daily stuff, you're not on a rather compatible page with, it's going to be more challenging. And again, you can solve those with what? Spiritual growth and personal growth. A lot of it. It is possible. And the fourth thing that I have, well, this one is loyalty. And I'm not going to get into the theory of it. I'm actually going to give you a story that I was told from one of the guys that I dated through the dating apps. So this guy was also into polyamory, and I discovered this at the first date that I had with him. So I was like, okay, that's gonna be fun. I'm not into polyamory. So anyway, we hang out, we went ping pong, we went walking in the park. I bought him some of the stuff that I ate. By the way, he hated those. That was another indicator, not just polyamory incompatibility, but also nutrition-wise. So I was like, okay, we're not compatible here. Kind of, food for me is also extremely important, so I kind of look at those things. Yes, I do test the guys that I date with. All these stupid little things that seem not important, I actually test them out. They don't even know I'm doing that. So, by the way, I'm never going to date somebody who's on my social media. So that being said, this guy got into the stuff that was annoying him about Romanian women. He was kind of pissed off at us. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? What's up with that? And he said, well, Romanian women are not loyal. So my reaction was, and this coming from a guy who's into polyamory, really? He said, I'm not talking about sexual loyalty. I'm talking about the deeper parts of loyalty. And he gives me this story. He came from a very big family, so a lot of uncles and aunts, and I think he had a sibling or two. And once, when they were out in the mountainside eating at a restaurant somewhere, all of them, one of his uncles went outside and to get something from his car. And 5 minutes go by and he doesn't come back. And one of the guys there was like, okay, what's X doing? Okay, I'm gonna go check in on him. A few seconds after the second guy goes out, he walks back in and shouts at all the other guys, yo, X is in a fight, we gotta go and help. So all the men that were eligible for a fight get up, go outside and start kicking ass and punching faces and nose and jaws and all of that. And several minutes into that brawl, the aunt, the wife of the first uncle that went outside, she walks out, opens the door of the restaurant and sees everybody. Some of them were on the floor, with blood and all that. Some of them were still standing and fighting. And she shouts at her husband, of course you're gonna get into a fight also, you good for nothing piece of, I don't know what she called him. You never get anything right. Man, why do I bother? And she walks back in. Everybody, not just their extended family, meaning everybody that was in the restaurant and everybody that was fighting outside, but also the guys that were fighting her family, everybody heard that. When the entire fight ended and, well, nobody died, but some were bleeding, some were with bruises, some with some shattered bones or something, they go back in. I'm not sure what happened after that, but this guy told me, what was my aunt doing at the time? Where we were all fighting, like supporting our guy from the family. And she comes out and she doesn't even like, hey husband, are you okay? Do you need something? Bring him something like a rag to wipe his blood or something. No. She just belittled him and walked back right in. And he said this guy could have been killed there. She couldn't care less. That's the kind of loyalty that I don't see in Romanian women. Now, of course, not all Romanian women are like the aunt that this guy had, but he was making a point. For whatever reason, in longer term relationships, sometimes things can go so wrong at whichever point, that the people in that relationship, they don't even care if the other one gets killed or not. Like, this guy was literally being kicked and pushed and punched on the ground, and this woman, his wife, so his life partner, didn't stand up, didn't even help him. All she could do was belittle him, like figuratively kicking and punching him even more, and then walking away. The counter definition of what a life partner should be, right? Right. So I didn't date that guy for too long, because obviously polyamorous, monogamous wasn't going to work. But the story did remain with me. So that being said, I'm really curious what you think of the 4 points that I actually gave you today. One was reciprocating love. The other one was compatible vision. The third one was compatible mundane things, okay, and how you set your daily life. And number 4 with loyalty. I'm really curious what you think of this story. So that being said, I'm looking forward to hearing your comments, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Until then, check out the Get Your Orgasmic Intimacy book, or check out the coaching services that I have. If you resonate, I will see you in coaching. Bye.